Aujourd'hui, je vais continuer l'histoire Awesome Friendly Adventure. Ok? Alors, je commence. When Greg read the last chapter, he had some thought on the whole sword thing. Greg said it was totally unrealistic that Roland could pull the sword out of the rock when Garg couldn't. He said Garg probably lose it, and that's why Roland got it out so easily. Then I told Greg the sword was magical and it had a whole story behind it. I said the story was forget in the fire of Mount Fridlit by a wizard named Walter the Wonderful. Greg asked me what the name of the sword was because he said a magical sword needs a name. So I said Jeremy because it was the first thing it came to mind. But in which I'd taken my time and come up with something a little better because maybe then Greg couldn't have laughed so hard. Then Greg asked me what the sword magical power were, and I said I had the power of turn bad guys nice, and he thought that was pretty hilarious too. Greg said maybe the sword should do something cool like shoot lightning from its tip. But I liked my idea better because it was more original. Greg said if I care about being original, then I can't have Ron pulling a sword from a stone because there's already a movie about that. And I said, it's not a stone, it's a rock. So Greg said, well, good luck setting suit. And Greg said, at least the character finally there's some weapon because we could make them into toys. Guard Club. I said I didn't think that was such a good idea because a kid could get hurt playing with them parents would like that. But Greg said if they were Nerf toys, then kids could totally clubber each other and their parents wouldn't even care. Chapter 5. After Roland and Garg said goodbye to their pixie friends, it was weirdly dark out, so it was hard to see where they were going, and the next thing they knew, they were tumbling down a hill. When they finally got at the bottom, they were surrounded by trolls. And Roland would never say it out loud because the trolls were very kind of filthy. And trolls took Roland and Gargo to their leader who sat on a giant throne made of garbage. And Roland thought for sure the trolls were going to cook Roland and Garg in a stew. But the Troll King was actually pretty nice. He said, sorry, this place is such a dump, but it's really not our fault. The Troll's kind told Roland and Garg that even night the pixie tossed the garbage down the hill and up the trolls down. He said the reason the trolls were so filthy was because they spent all their time trying to clean up the pixies' garbage. Plus, the trolls didn't really believe in taking baths, so there was So there was that too. Then the troll's kind said the pixie brag that they live in harmony with nature, but they're really just a bunch of phones who dump their trash of someone else. Well, if there was thing Roland didn't like, it was littering. So he marched back up the hill with some trolls to talk of the pixie. To the pixie. The pixies weren't happy to see the trolls in their enchanted village, and they weren't shy about showing it either. Pew, pew, ew, ew, pew, pew, ew, 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 ew. Roland told the pixie they had to stop dumping their trash in Troll Town because littering is wrong. But the pixie said the reason they dump their trash in Troll Town is to get back at the trolls who are always sneaking up the hill and eating them. And when Roland asked the Troll King if this was true, he said yes, but trolls can't eating help eating pixies because they're so delicious. So Roland came up with an idea to make peace between the trolls and the pixies. He said if the troll promised to not eat any more pixies, then the pixie had to stop throwing their trash into Troll Town. And the Troll King and the leader of the pixie thought that sounded fair, so they did a pinky swear to make it official. Then Roland taught everyone how to deal with trash properly, and there was finally peace in the Targlet forest. Greg said he was glad there were finally some actual monster in the book, but he wasn't crazy about the recycling stuff. He said kids don't want books with message in them these days, so I was probably gonna have to cut that part. But I said I wanted to have a bunch of message in the story, like say not to bullying and save the planet and believe in the magic of Christmas. But Greg said kids don't want a bunch of lessons, they want action. Greg said I should rewrite that last chapter so it will a battle between the trolls and the pixies, and then we can make it into an awesome video game. Pixie versus troll. But my parents don't let me play violent video games, so I said maybe we could do something they approved of. Trolls and pixies teach multiplication. Greg said okay, forget about the trolls and the pixie, and let's talk about what monster Gargs and Roland are gonna face next. And he pulled a book of his shuffle about ancient mythology, and we looked through it together. Monster of Myth. It told Greg we couldn't use any of the monster in the book because that wouldn't be copying somebody else's idea. But Greg and the people who came with those monsters dead a long time ago, so anyone can use them now. Then he told me they are a lot of other characters and have been around a while, so we could use them too. So maybe next chapter is gonna have a bunch of monster and another new character in it. But I hope Greg is not pranking me on this one because I really don't want to get sued. Ok, aujourd'hui je vais raconter ici et demain je vais raconter chapter 6. Ok, alors je vous vois demain. Au revoir.